to get our shit back.
Okay.
Now, remember, go back to the Salem witch hunts, and it was a big mama teach the little pale girls yoni magic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, go to that ballroom dancing. See that?
Yep.
So the dancing instructions is the same. Mm-hmm. All that shit came from us. We invented ballroom, square dance, bop. All that shit come from us. Foxtrot. Mm-hmm. All of them is, and all of these dances you see being done on the land is what you call ritual maintenance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Preserve the rituals in the common culture, so that the people from the original of oldest of times will always recognize the culture because they created it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The salsa, all that. Yep. Shata. So
somebody said that they confused because the children of these people was already on reservations. You got to go back and recheck the story. They came over and was taught, but the adults that came with them, they didn't have to be taught. The children had to be taught. All you have to teach the adults is you have to go rehearse how to tell stories until they learn how to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
With the children is the ones who can embody the information that you download into them. That's why you don't see a lot of adults around those children at those schools. Go back to the picture, Elder.
I got you.
Find me an adult.
And one of them pictures.
Now, you know when we went to school, got our class pictures. It was our teacher was always in the picture. Who is the adult?
They ain't teaching the adult because it's the black. It's gonna show native adult nigga. That's what they gonna want to tell you. You know?
And most of these were taught by women. Women was teaching the dance classes.
Man, so hey, real quick question, man, because this right here, you just gave me some more pieces, Rod. So these, let me get
they ceremonial tribes. Anything that to overthrow this system, they gonna be the ones standing up because we too scared to do it. We don't believe in our power on the land, so we won't pool our resources. We're gonna fight against each other.
Okay.
All you got to do is show the children the path to victory, and they gonna push the adults out the side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's go on to some questions, Elder. If you had some questions you wanted to go over.
Oh yeah, I got you. So let me put this together. So they had to. This whole plan was to switch these people out with us, and they taught them how to be us. That's crazy.
No. Okay, so the slightest miss in the vision is this.
Okay.
They were going to replace us with them.
Go ahead.
But they was going to come over and they was going to be the indigenous people, but they was going to act like the white man.
Yeah.
So we the ones who's training them. Because we know that if we don't train them to imitate us, that we won't never be able to send nobody in to get our shit because our people not going to trust themselves.
Wow. Right.
And most of the leadership is just ceremonial leaders anyway. They're not even real leaders because they ain't most loved, most respected by nobody.
Wow. So hey, the first question I have for you, Rod, this right here, you just dropped a nuke on us right there. That's a nuke right there, man. You know, this right here piece right here, this is nail in the coffin right here, man.
Big Mama said, leave no stone unturned.
Oh, yeah, you just turned over a big ass stone right there. You just made a big ass connection right there for me. Now you said you was talking about Jack Johnson, and how we was doing the phase of the fighting on the land, and you was talking about how the Jack Johnson really was the first dude that started getting. You had broke down his connection with us.
Yeah. Okay. So look, when they came over here, they don't have no skills.
Okay.
Right now, remember they on a quest for one drop of blood.
Okay.
But in the quest for the one drop of blood, they got to develop into functional humans that can ascend. Mm-hmm. Yaku's grafted devil. Mm-hmm. They got to come up with their own ability to fight. When you look at now, you see how Jack Johnson fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, pull up. Type in the Great White Hope versus Jack Johnson and watch how the white boy standing.
Yeah, I got that picture right here. Already up in there. Which I heard you say something about the Great White Hope. It should be right up in here. Is it up in there? Right here. I think this is it right here. Right here. Yeah, he's standing.
You see how he holding it? You see how he holding his fist with the fisticuffs? Put him up even. That's because they had to learn how to develop this science. He already know it.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson was the first one they allowed to fight because they thought that they had a champion. I think this guy name was it Jess Willard? Anyway, they thought that they had developed their skills enough to challenge a real fighter from our fight camps. He came from Ethiopia war colony.
Go ahead.
They came over here to deliver something called a pyramid secret to the non-ether. They had to deliver that over here. He was what you call the child of a priest. So they taught him the boxing secrets. That's why Jack Johnson was excelling everybody. Right. And but his father or his caretaker or whoever brought him over here used him for the cover story. Because we got the non-ether, the ether utopia connection through the Holy Pibby and through the sacred parchment scroll of black supremacy around the time he arrived. And that's Ethiopian doctrine. And that's going to tie us back to Haile Selassie. Now, the only thing we got to do is verify that Haile Selassie is not from bloodline of Israel. Because if we can prove that, then we can capture non-ether for the earthborn. That's science for saying that we can take the science and we can use it and apply it. Okay, so now we're talking root black science.
Okay.
The science of the black dot, Dr. Richard King, the science of melanin, Dr. Carol Byrne, right? We're talking about social development of the mind of the children, right? We got Haki Madhubuti, we got Nathan John and Julia Hare. When we got Dr. Amos Wilson, Master of Masters in the psychological development of our children and understanding the problem. Once you understand the problem, you can get a solution. Dr. Neely Fuller, the United Independent Compensatory Code System for breaking the chains of white supremacy, is a direct affront to the 9 areas of people activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. And when you lay it all out, you understand that what we up against, we got to have a dog in every fight or we can't win. Right? So why did Clarence 13X leave the Nation of Islam? What was the conflict?
That's a good question. Go ahead.
Elijah sent him out, but it came out as a conflict because the chief never got to tell you really what to do. Once you understand the assignment, you do your part. Okay. Just do your part. You don't got to do everything because everybody got a part and we're going to work as a team. That's the critical part of warfare.
That's right.
Right? Once we realize what's going on, whatever they tell us to do, we just don't do that shit.
Okay.
Right? And whatever they tell us not to do, we might try to do that shit if it doesn't make sense why we shouldn't do it. That's called testing the system to see where it's strong and where it's weak. The general gonna read the moves, right? So when he come with the non-ether, Garvey bring it over for the Prince Hall Freemasons to set the Masons free. Right? That's why the UNIA is up, you mighty people, do what you will. We just brought you the science of the non-ether. With the science of the non-ether, you can unlock the highest consciousness, which is the non-ether gas forces of the ancestors that dwell in the soils of the earth. So we talking Mississippi red clay dirt. Look at my skin, Mississippi red clay dirt, right? Versus the pitch black dirt of the Nile. That's two different dirts.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So when they developing and they learning their skills, they have to learn in steps until they can master the muscle movement. And sometimes it takes generations. Right. And just when they think Tommy Gunn was ready, Ray Mercer was mercilessly knocking his head into the ground. They thought they had another one.
Yeah, right.
The same as Jerry Cooney and Larry Holmes. They keep playing the same repeat. They finally got one. The Fury of Tyson came out as Tyson Fury. Right? And Deontay Wilder is relying on the one-hitter quitter.
They cheat.
You can't rely on the one-hitter quitter.
Go ahead.
Because if you only rely on the one punch man, then if you miss, you lost.
Yeah.
Right. So all these things is just putting together what we've been looking at culturally play out in the mainstream. Right. See, he don't hold his hands like those other fighters back then. That's how they used to hold their hands.
Like this, like Jack Johnson holding. He fight like orthodox. Well, yeah, I guess that'll be orthodox. Like he right.
Yep.
So like orthodox is like one of the oldest, because most people right-handed. It's only like left-handed is like rare.
So the Israelis the first one to develop a functional martial art. If you go to Google and type in Krav Maga, this was developed by the Israeli Secret Service to try to combat other forms. It's spelled with a K. K-A-V space Magra. M-A-G-R-A.
I got you. Right here.
Yeah.
Wow. I ain't even never heard of this style.
Yeah, so they take this in. This goes to the combat sports. Because you gotta have these, you gotta develop them so they can ascend. You can't leave nobody behind. Mama said you can't throw nobody away like trash. Right? So it took time to develop a people into their own. They had to get leadership because they was at the bottom the whole time. Right? Because they came over as somebody else's servant. And we had to pay, the good had to pay with the bad. In order to get us all free, some of us had to go into voluntary servitude.
That's crazy.
In other words, we had to make a plea agreement.
That's what Big Mother Bear said, that some people went into slavery for us.
Yeah, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
It's the war. It's the war for the psyche, the mind of the people. As long as they don't believe who they is, they can't never redeem themselves. Everybody responsible for their own self first before you're responsible for the person next to you. Right? And once you understand that concept, you do the self-work in order to make you better protection to the people next to you. This is OGT Rogers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about. The Peace Stones, were they Bloods originally, or did they turn into Bloods when they got
Bloods formed before the Peace Stones knew that the Red House needed structure. He was sent by Angel Bay to go out to LA and help with the Red House in California. So this is how behind the scenes, these are the OGs that's building in the structure. All the tribes had to be in the position that if the structure is activated, everybody is supposed to know what their role is. Just by their structure. And the way theirs is it's an OG call.
Yeah, that's right.
If it ain't an OG call, then we ain't finna move on that. Right? Now if it's a triple OG call, now we listening.
Yeah, triple OG call.
Yeah, because now we got the real big homies in here.
3-star general.
That's the most respected of the most respected right there. Them the ones that the niggas you respect.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? This is what this all about. So T. Rogers, he was also associated with some of the elders in the Panther Party from varying parts of California.
Okay.
Right. And so he took the structure given to him by Angel Bay, but it got to be the structure that fit the tribe that they came from. So when Tookie created the Crips, the default was the Bloods was going to have to form.
Right.
Right. That's the default. That's so that just like the motherland got an army, the fatherland got an army. This Chief Malik Angel Bay, notice he got on Vice Lord colors, black over gold, right? That means he's concealed by the orders of Big Mama, right? But he holding on to his grip on his post. You see? Right over left.
Yeah, I see it.
Right? And his right hand over the left, that means the right hand is concealing the stone. Right? So all of these OGs right here, most of them probably not here no more.
Yeah, they was rocking the fez and the full beard like Hebrews. So they
right now at this point in the struggle, Angel Bay's still trying to find out what's going on the land. At this point, where he at right now? Where you that picture?
Yeah, right there. Yeah. It said that that's what I wanted to ask you too about this. Okay. It said it's right here in this document. They said that Ford is currently serving a 168-year prison sentence after being convicted of conspiracy and weapons charges in 1987 for a plot to commit attacks inside the U.S. in exchange for weapons and $2.5 million from Libya, ordering a murder in 1980. They probably framed him for that too, and a conviction for drug trafficking in 1932. So they say the main part I'm looking at is they tried to say this brother was gonna make some money from Libya for doing a terrorist attack in the United States.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember when this went down, but around the same time, Muammar Gaddafi offered Farrakhan $5 billion to give us economic aid for our community. The U.S. government told Farrakhan that if he take it, he got to register as a foreign agent.
What?
The problem is if he registers as a foreign agent, then they're gonna come in and arrest him as an enemy combatant, and he's gonna end up right where Angel Bay at.
Same thing. Yep.
So they didn't let him. They blocked him from getting the money, but it's more than one way to skin the cat. So this $2.5 million had nothing to do. If you go back to the city of Chicago, got a grant for him. And he was feeding kids with the grant money. Mayor Jane Byrne, I think is her name, brought him the check over on the west side of Chicago, and they came in a caravan. They rolled in a motorcade to bring him the check, and they seen what he was doing with the money. This when he was in the streets. Now remember, he don't know what's going on the land. He just know he trying to help his people from an adverse condition. Right. And then when he got out of prison in the 70s, they had sent him in there on some old trumped up bullshit. But anyway, when he got out he went into juvenile first. When he came out to juvenile, he was a grown man. By now, Big Mama gave him marching orders as soon as he hit the streets. His job, he is the highest authority of law on the land enforcement. He is the chief mufti of the land using the doctrine of Islamism. So if he is the chief mufti on the land, his job is to tear this bitch up if his people ain't right. Only his people left him hanging. He didn't leave them hanging. They left him hanging.
Man, wow. They got scared.
No, they just didn't know what to do. It wasn't enough thinkers in our community back then.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't even born during this time. So.
We had plenty of fighters, Elder.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a lot of thinkers. This is why the structure of the Nation of Islam, the structure for the Black Panthers became critical to teaching structure to the rest of the clans on the land. Right? So we had to figure out how to restore and rebuild while they steady doing shit to us. They never stopped doing shit to us the whole time.
Setting us up the whole time.
They never stopped their COINTEL operations until they got finally shut down in 2019.
When Trump got on there. Ford transferred to the newly opened ADX Florence Supermax prison, same prison as Larry Hoover and Baba. And you think that these niggas, all the same niggas that came out to Jeff Ford, came after Larry and Baba. The same exact niggas, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. And he's still in prison right now for being framed and set up.
I hope he better not be still in there.
Who, Jeff Ford?
Yeah. We don't have to know he ain't in there, but he better not be still in there too. They ain't gonna tell us.
Yeah, and
they gonna tell us.
He can't be like, just like Bob and Larry Hoover, they really can't be in contact with nobody. Can't be in contact. You can't being under a no human contact order. They so scared of this dude, they don't want him to even fucking talk to nobody. Now that's crazy. They scared of this dude. That's really scary right there. They don't want this dude to even
Remember what the New York police said about Malcolm, right? No one man should have that much power.
Yep. And if they wouldn't, if Malcolm wasn't so far ahead in the game to go finger him, then he probably would have been in this prison too with them, right alongside them. I'm telling you, man. Same niggas came after Malcolm, came after these niggas.
They was infiltrating us. See, that's how we knew that the war was in our community, was with somebody that looked like us.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you read Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, some of those settlements they talking about wasn't no pale faces there. Running shit. Who is these motherfuckers and why we can't see them?
That's right.
Tupac said it better.